Hey everybody, it's me, Lawrence Presman. You're watching First Pitch, and I'm excited to be stepping in for Andrew McInnis, who was stepping in for me. Hunter with us, Hunter Engelhardt, sportsmemo.com, Tony Finn, and Dave Cokin, both wagertalk.com, and we're excited to have 49 people already waiting for us. Just a quick update. Andrew is the host of this show. I just can't do the weekends. I have stepped in for Saturday and Sunday this week, but next week I think it's either going to be Andrew or Matt Joseph. So if you want to see me, you got to check me out on some of the other shows. We're doing 3 games today in depth. We're doing the Oakland Los Angeles Angels game, the Diamondbacks Padres game, the New York Yankees and Nationals game, and we're going to take a quick run through on all the games following that. But let's start off right with Dave Cokin on a 7-0 run. Dave, I could not be happier for you. 5 wins in the KBO, 2 to start the baseball season. Congratulations. Way to go, dude.
Yeah, I wasn't the only one because the betting market had a monster day yesterday. Favorites are 14-2 out of the gate. So the bettors are cleaning up and feeling like this is going to be easy money. It won't be. It'll get tougher. But yeah, it's always nice to get out of the gate well. I've got one best bet for today. As of now, it's the only play I'm making. I've got some opinions, which I'll share on this show, but only one best bet, and that is the one at wagertalk.com.
Excellent stuff. Hunter, my friend, we haven't done a show together. It's a privilege to have you with us. You've started the season 3-0. Congratulations to you. What's on tap for Saturday?
Thank you, guys, and thanks for having me. Good to be on the show with you guys. You guys do a great job. I've been watching the past 2 days, and it was great. You guys know your stuff, and it's very entertaining. It's not you click and watch and then go watch something else. So I'm happy to be here. I haven't released any plays yet for today. I plan to probably release 2 or 3. Just waiting for some lineups to come out. So those should be up over at Sports Memo here probably within the hour or 2 hours.
And Mr. Finn, one of the greatest baseball handicappers alive. How have you started the baseball season?
I have started the baseball season 2-1. I'll take that every day, all year. Give it to me 2-1 every 3. And everybody knows here would love to have that. At least I think they would.
That is.
So let's do that.
Listen, I've started the season 2-0. I had a miraculous win last night. I had the Yankees the first night. Then I had the Oakland A's last night, up 3-2 going into the 9th. Decided to screw that up, and then we had a beautiful walk-off home run. Dave Cokin, was that his first at bat? The guy who hit the home run?
No.
No, yeah, I don't know. They were talking about, like, I don't know. I had it like on half mute, but anyway.
I think it might have been the first. Might have been the first at bat for the pitcher.
Okay, well, that's what it was. Something was going on, but I was lying in bed half asleep at that time. I will tell you this, though. I watched the last 3 or 4 innings of that game. It was great and exciting baseball, but man, did it ever move slowly. I don't know what the hell was going on, but there were 45 seconds between every pitch. I was losing my mind. Guys, I want to welcome everybody into the posting forum. Yeah. Abel, always nice to see you. Rob Cook, Chevy Bra, Paul Lopez, Johnny Hernandez, Talisman, Danny, Big Drew, Princess. So many of you guys. I love seeing all your names. One Time Sports, nice to see you again. And yeah, man, Daniel, anyone who had Oakland -1.5 is celebrating. That is for sure. But how about the over and under on that game?
Yeah.
A lot swung on that. But, here's the thing. We've already mentioned this. You're taking your life in your hands betting under full games.
Yeah.
I made my mind up in the middle of last season to play unders first 5 because unders are primarily predicated on the starting pitching, right? I mean, that's how you handicap this stuff. So just and this season, I know there's going to be exceptions like Hendricks yesterday for the Cubs who went 9. But you're going to see with all these, with the depth in the bullpens, you're going to see starting pitchers go 5 and 6 innings and get me out of there. To me, unders first 5, overs full game.
Yeah. No, that's a great point. We spoke about it on First Pitch all of last year. Thanks for the shout out, One Time Sports. Hope you're doing well, guys. It's Saturday. It's a beautiful day on the East Coast, hopefully on the West as well. Lots of baseball today. Let's get right to it. Let's tackle the first game, and then we'll get into the promos and all the other stuff. We're going to start with the Oakland Athletics. They're at home, minus 129, give or take, against the Angels. The total has come down from 9 to 8.5. Dave, I'm going to go straight to you first. Lead the way, man. Where are you going in this game?
Well, there's a few things to talk about with the Angels. Number one is their bullpen, which was suspect going in, is even more suspect coming out of game one. That's going to be a problem for them all season. Madden's going to have to try and just get lucky with who he brings in, because they've got a lot of guys with command issues. Another thing on the Angels, and this is going to be an ongoing problem. I know Albert Pujols is one of the great players of all time. He's a first ballot Hall of Famer, but he's 20 years in, and he is a liability.
Yeah.
This baseball team at this point. He really doesn't have a position to play. You can't DH him because Ohtani's going to do that, except on days like today when he's slated to pitch tomorrow. He clogs the bases on the rare occasions he does get on. He can't be a regular. He can't be a regular. Madden's going to have to. He's going to have to make a decision there, because this guy's going to end up hurting them if he's playing on an everyday basis. As far as tonight's game goes, Dylan Bundy's making his debut. He's got to be thrilled to be on an actual Major League Baseball team rather than the Orioles, which was let's face it, it is really tough to get motivated when you're pitching for the Orioles. You've almost got no chance to win on a daily basis. I mean, there's no pressure, but it's just not a plus. Sean Manaea on the mound for Oakland. He figures to be tough first time through the lineup. He will also be facing a lineup that won't have Ohtani in it tonight because he's scheduled to pitch tomorrow, so that's one of the better bats out, and Rendon is still absent from the lineup, although he should be back shortly for the Halos. I think Oakland's justifiable as a favorite here. Got no disagreement with those who want to back the A's.
Tony, I'll go to you next. Dylan Bundy, I mean, he's just been a guy tough to bet on or against. I mean, 1 out of 4 outings, he's, Clayton Kershaw, and then the 3 others, he couldn't make a minor league roster. Real tough guy to get involved in a game. I'm outright passing on this one simply because of Dylan Bundy. I just cannot get my head around whether that guy is going to pitch well or pitch badly. Where are you going in this one?
Well, a couple of the neighbor degenerates that are my friends that love to play. We talked about this game last night, and they were excited. One of them's a Baltimore guy, so he was excited to say not so much for the Orioles, but he was excited to see Bundy getting an opportunity to get out of Baltimore, get out of Oriole Park, and start using that his slider again. He really was prohibited. The coaching staff would not allow him, or basically that said, listen, don't throw your slider. It's getting hammered and it's leaving the park.
Yeah.
For the most part, this guy is who he. Listen, there's a lot of guys excited about Bundy pitching for an Angels, a team that can score some runs with Mike Trout. I'm of the school that his numbers have been about the same last 2 years. Sure, the Orioles aren't very good, but this guy gives up too many home runs, almost 2 per 9 innings. And that's without throwing the slider. Now, if he thinks he's going to get a nice rotation, a better rotation in Angels Park on that slider, let's see it. It's about a 5.0 ERA. He's giving up about 2 home runs, 1.75 a game. And he doesn't have great command, and he doesn't strike out enough people. He's one of those guys that, listen, you're going to get unlucky. He's been unlucky. His strand rate's like 71%, guys. Yeah. But when you pitch with those peripherals, you're going to be unlucky. Man, he didn't pitch at all. He won 9 starts last year. He was hurt most of the year. He was great in his 9 starts. And this guy is a good pitcher. He can command the ball. He doesn't throw the ball very hard. He's not going to top out in the high 90s. But he gets swings and misses, and he doesn't walk anybody, and I like him.
Hunter, where are you at in this game? Any totals, any sides? What are you going to do?
Well, I'm definitely staying away from the total. I agree with Dave. If you're going to play this game, I think A's at what they're priced at. I think they're priced, in my opinion, a little cheaper than they should be, especially with Bundy on the mound. I can't back Dylan Bundy, and I don't care what he does. But any pitcher who's pitched for the Orioles for 5 years and watched all that, I can't do it. He pitched one time. He had one start against the A's last year, and I think he gave up 4 home runs or something like that. He has an ERA of 10. But the interesting part about Dylan Bundy is let me find it here, is that when there's no runners on base, batters are hitting 273 off him. When there's runners on, they're hitting 234, and then when they're in scoring position, they're hitting 209. So this guy's bad with nobody on base, but for some reason, he's got the gamer factor in him. But for that reason, I'm going to stay away from obviously the Angels. But if I had to pick a play in this game, I would pick the A's money line probably in the first 5 because they would get that at bat in the bottom of the 5th. So I would take
every ball leaves the park, Hunter. Every ball leaves the park with Dylan.
To that point, Chris Davis absolutely owns Dylan Bundy. He's got 10 at bats. And he's hitting. Where is he?
Hitting.
I'm sorry. Here. Yeah, 13 at bats, 3 home runs, and 5 RBIs. Hitting 462 off him. Crazy.
That's Chris with a K as opposed to the
K,
Chris with a C. By the way, quick note is that this is a day game, and the ball has a tendency to night games suppress home runs in this ballpark. Although you would never know it from last night. Day games, the ball flies in Oakland.
Right. Nice. Right. Nice point. Great stuff, guys.
And 10-mile-an-hour winds. 10-mile-an-hour winds straight to center field too, as well today at game time.
Victor, I got your statement in the posting form on the YouTube channel. Thank you, my friend. Appreciate the shout out. Lou, nice to see you. And yeah, A's do have a solid team. I mean, this is a team that's going to make contact throughout the year. They'll be a fun little team to watch. Feisty as hell, that's for sure. Boys,
they're a playoff team.
Sorry, Dave?
They're a playoff team. With 16 in, they're definitely a playoff team. The Angels, we'll have to see. They're going to be one of the teams that's fighting for one of those last spots.
It's a really good defensive team, too. Very good defensive team. On the corners, they're top. They're platinum gloves almost.
Yeah, that's for sure. Boys, we got a great promo for everybody today. Listen, $399 for any one of our seasons. Now, baseball season, the entire season, including the playoffs, $399. You can use it for any of the 4 of us, myself, Dave, and Tony at wagertalk.com, Hunter at sportsmemo.com. The promo code, and you can see it at the bottom of the screen, is 399MLB. That's 399MLB. And just a shout out to myself. I started the season 2-0, as I told you, but I ended last year on an 8-0 run. So I am currently on a 10-0 baseball run. The fact that
I won the last game last season.
What?
I don't know what my overall finish was, but I know I won the last game last season.
Okay, well now Dave has just adjusted his. You can't adjust your streak. It doesn't count because of the Korean baseball. So you don't get that win from last year in your streak, Mr. Cokin. I do.
That's okay.
I do.
That's okay. You're correct. I can't include that because there's been a lot of games that didn't win it. Yeah, okay, I get it.
No, you can,
Paco,
Dave.
nice to see you.
You're listed as an MLB run. Is Korean baseball Major League Baseball? No, it's not.
No, it sure isn't.
Right, there you go. You can list it in your MLB run, Dave. Roger, I got all the Bundy jokes. Nice stuff. Excellent. Are you done? San Diego minus 130 against Arizona. Over and under is at 8. Hunter, I'll go to you first on this game. Where are you going?
I think you got to run with the Padres. I mean, they looked, obviously, Mad Bum was what we thought he'd be in the beginning. But once they hit that bullpen, I mean, Tommy Pham is great. The Padres is actually one team I took over on in season win totals. I thought they finally got everything coming together. I'm a huge Paddock guy. I used to pitch, so like watching Paddock throw yesterday was unbelievable. The downhill that he throws and just attacks hitters was awesome. I'm really big on the Padres this year, and I think they're going to take game number 2 against Arizona.
Yeah, Dave, the total has dropped slightly, 8.5 last night. It's now at 8, and I understand that. I mean, San Diego just perennially play to the under, but things change. Are you going to be looking at the total at all?
No, I don't have much on this game, but well, in terms of an actual selection, but some things on the Padres. This pitching staff is going to be. It has a chance to be spectacular. Yeah. Because Paddock, as Hunter just mentioned, this guy could be in the Cy Young mix down the road. And he might not be the best pitcher on the staff because Mackenzie Gore is on the way. And I will tell you that Mackenzie Gore is nasty. Okay? And then you've got some other guys behind him like Lamet with some upside, let's put it that way. Now, Lamet's really interesting because one of the things that he hasn't done is figured out how to get out of the gate. His first time through the order numbers are not really good. And that's something that starting pitchers have to be sharp early on if they want to be quality starters down the road. There are very few guys that, start off badly and get better. Justin Verlander's, an outlier as far as that goes, a guy who has had some first inning issues over the years, but then once he gets into rhythm, forget about it. But most starting pitchers are going to be at their strongest first time through the order. And Lamet has kind of gone the opposite route. So he needs to fix that. Robbie Ray is a guy I have a tendency to stay away from. For the simple reason that you don't know which Robbie Ray is going to show up. If it's the Robbie Ray who's got good control, he's a tremendous left-hander. If it's the Robbie Ray who doesn't have his command, he walks the ballpark and gets himself into all kinds of trouble. And it's really the reason why Robbie Ray has remained, for all intents and purposes, a number 3 starter. Padres have the edge to me here, but it's in the price. I mean, they're small favorites in the game, and I don't really, to me, if this was even money, I'd probably be taking a shot with the Padres, but at this price, it's going to be a pass.
Yeah, Dave, I agree. The other thing about Robbie Ray is his batting average against and OPS against righties is 241 average and 803 to right-handed hitters, and this Padres team has some pretty dangerous right-handed hitters, so I'm definitely staying away from Robbie Ray in this.
Tony Finn, any thoughts on this game?
We talked a little bit about the Padres yesterday, and I think I mentioned that I thought they underachieved last year. I think this is a talented team. They've got some experience, they got some youth, they got some talent. I really listen. If just to make this short, if Lamet can command his four-seamer and his off speed, he has, as Dave said, listen, this kid has the potential to be the best pitcher on this staff, and it's a really good staff. We saw what they did to Bumgarner yesterday, a left-hander. I never have a very good read on Robbie Ray. Never have a very good read on him. I would typically stay away from this, but I may end up being a little bit of a degenerate tonight and playing some San Diego.
There you go, boys.
I like that word.
Tony Finn, Dave Cokin, and Hunter Engelhart with us. You're watching First Pitch. Andrew will be back on Monday. We do have a show tomorrow, noon Eastern time. I will be at the helm again, so make sure to check that out. We're going to be myself, Dave Cokin, Tony Finn, and Matt Joseph. Hunter, what do you got, golfing or something tomorrow?
No, I got a charity scramble today at 1:30.
Oh, you're golfing today?
That's where I'm heading there. I am, yes.
Scrambles. I love scrambles.
Oh, they're a blast.
They're the best. Anybody can help their team.
Exactly.
Guys, everyone, just a quick shout out to what's coming up at Wager Talk and Sports Memo plus the Gold Sheet. So much is going on right now. We've really spent the time during COVID getting ready for a big push on our video content. We've got a ton of video content coming up. We've got the hockey show starts on Thursday. It's called Puck Time. I host that. We also have our baseball show, which you're watching 7 days a week, Monday to Friday. We have the NBA show as well that is in full swing starting this week, which will have Tony on it, and I think Steve Merrill will be hosting that show. And Teddy Covers and I will be doing a daily show, noon to 1 Eastern. It starts August 10th, Monday, August 10th. It's called Wager Talk Today. So check that out. And of course, we will continue with our UFC shows, our golf shows, our NASCAR shows, our horse racing shows. So yeah, we're just jam packed with content. Also, I have a 5% play tonight in the UFC, so make sure to get down on that play. I've only released 3 UFC picks in my life, and I'm 3-0, but I have been betting the UFC for close to 20 years. Boys, the last game that we're going to go deep into is the Yankees versus the Nationals. Always a sexy matchup, and likely why we chose it. Tony, I'll go to you first on this game. Washington playing the Yanks. What's going on?
Well, I'm going to make this short, so I want to hear Hunter, and I want to hear the legend talk about this. But there's a lot of things. The absence of Rendon on the corner, they have no replacement. What he brought to the offense it's immeasurable in my opinion. It's so tangible that this is not going to be the same team. The fact that they've already lost their young stud, and there's a hangover. There's a little bit of a World Series hangover, if you believe in that. And if there's somebody that isn't as durable as they probably would like to have been during their career, it's Strasburg. And he didn't look. Listen. He hasn't been that great. And from what the beat writers I've talked to, he hasn't been what he was, obviously. How can you be 5-0 in postseason, win the most valuable player, and carry that over, shut down a summer, basically a summer spring training, and then go into a series with the Bronx Bombers? Listen, I like the Yankees in the series. I like them to sweep this series, and you've so far so good. And the prices have been good, in my opinion. They've been fair and not shaded because the Nats are world champions.
Hunter, my friend, where are you going in this one? A total that just flew. So obviously something happened there. 9. Washington plus 120, give or take. What's up?
Well, I think if you want to take the Nationals, you got to take them in the first 5. You got to take them against Paxton. In my opinion, I think Paxton's overrated as a pitcher. I mean, first time through the order, he's okay, 2-3, but then third time through the order, they're hitting 304 against him. I'm not a big Paxton guy. I watched him last year. In my opinion, I think he's one of their weaker starters. So if you're a Nats fan or you think the Nats can win a game or win a first 5, I think this is their best chance in that series today. But if you're going to take full game, I mean, I don't think I can't not take the Yankees in the full game. And if you're also thinking about over-under, I think the best over-under bet in this game is over 5 in the first 5. I would stay away from the full game.
Dave Cokin, fill us in.
Well, I agree with what Hunter was just saying on Paxton. The interesting thing is I don't think he's going to see a lot of third time through the orders. I think Paxton might become a 5-inning guy for the Yankees. They've got such depth in the bullpen, and they've got a pretty sharp manager in the dugout in Aaron Boone. I think that you're going to see Paxton. The assignment for Paxton is go out there and throw 90 pitches as hard as you can, with everything you got, and don't worry about stretching yourself out for 7 or 8 innings because you ain't going to be there anyway. We've got a bullpen that can shut guys down in the last 4 innings, and that's the way it might be with a few of their pitchers. I think you could make the same case. They'll do the same thing with Tanaka. And that makes it even more difficult to bet against this baseball team. I think that what Hunter just said in terms of strategy is spot on. If you're going to take your shots against the Yankees, you better do it early because the late innings are going to be where this team has an advantage with their amazing depth and a very deep bullpen. And I think Strasburg might be live in the first 5 innings here. I think he's a better pitcher than Paxton. I think he's a great big game pitcher. He really proved that last year. And it's hard to call this a big game as it's just the second game of the season. But I think the Nationals might approach this as a big game because it is the Yankees and they did drop the opener. I lean to Washington first 5, but not with real money, only monopoly money.
Dave Cokin. Brother, before we get into the next game, you were on the golf show this past week. We got 2 days left.
I don't want to talk
how live
about
are
it.
your bets?
I got one guy who made the cut out of 4. So, the good news is I hit a 36-1 2 weeks ago. So, I can afford a few losers, and it looks like I got them this way. The only thing I did right going in it looked like a tournament where you go for a price, and that strategy seems to be working out. But I'm not on the right unless Burns goes wild today. I'm dead.
Boys, make sure to get the entire season from one of these three guys or myself. You head over to Wager Talk or Sports Memo. Use the promo code 399MLB. I mean, listen, Dave and Tony, Hunter, you don't have 30 years under your belt of winning in baseball because looking at you, you're probably 30. But these two guys, Dave and Tony, I mean, I'm telling you, man, it's just one winning baseball season, one winning baseball decade after another. Please take advantage of this promotion, 399MLB. You know, so many of you guys, you just decide, oh, I'm going to play Tony for a week. I'm going to play Hunter for 3 days. I'm going to play Dave for a month, etc., etc. It just doesn't work when you do that. We're all going to have bad weeks. We're all going to have bad months. I go straight to you, Tony. When was the last time you had a bad baseball season?
Well, I don't know. I can't remember having a bad baseball season because I think it's not only is it one of my, Dave mentioned yesterday, it's one of my favorites to watch. It's one of my favorites to invest in. It has so many variables that are predictable and trendable that it's over the course, as you mentioned, over the course of 162 games. It's just a lot of fun and it's profitable.
Yeah, and Dave, you too. I mean, you won last year or the year before. I can't remember you having a bad baseball season.
There's been a few. I had 1 year where I don't remember the year, but I had a stretch in the middle of the season where I had 14 games in a row that went stretched over like 3 weeks. I had 14 extra inning games, lost every one.
Well, I mean that.
And I think I was 4-22 in extra inning games, and it's really tough to make that up. It just is. You just want to break even in those games, and when you have years where you just lose them all, it's like what the.
We all. Dude, we all get it. I mean, really, NFL is one of my best sports, and Tony and I were together 10 years ago or so, and I had 38% on the entire NFL season. We've all had that. And Hunter, great addition to our team. That's what Paco says. I mean, we're thrilled to have you, brother. What's your best sport?
Baseball is definitely my best sport. I didn't get really big into handy. Obviously, you guys have tons of experience on me, but once I found out that sports gambling was going to become legal in the United States, I was a huge baseball guy growing up, so I figured I'd give it a shot, and ended up starting off a lot better than I thought I would, and didn't realize my percentages were as good as they are in the industry. And reached out to Sports Memo, and I just gave my story, and you guys blessed me and put me on, and I love talking baseball, man. I could talk baseball. We could do this show all day, and I can sit here and bullshit with everybody, and just I just love it. Tony, I love watching baseball. There's nothing like it. So these past 7 months have been killing me. So I'm all jacked up. I'm like a little kid right now.
And there's nothing better than arguing strategy, in-game strategy. Forget the betting part. Yep. It's a great sport to
There's no wrong answer, Dave. If you have a thing for it, there's no wrong answer if you have a reason to back it up.
Yeah, so I'm obviously not as in love with the slowest sport I've ever seen in my life. But I like to bet it. And that's all I care about. I don't watch the stock market move up or down either. And I have a lot of money in the stock market.
It's not the slowest sport. That's just a fallacy. Listen, the average major. Wait a minute. Hold on. Average major, because I don't want to go real long here. But the average Major League Baseball game, there's how many pitches? Like 280, something like that.
Oh yeah, almost 300 now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And that's in roughly, we'll call it 3 hours. How many plays are there in an NFL game? In 3 hours.
I understand, and I was thinking about that last night.
It's not even close.
But Dave,
I mean, it all depends on your definition of action. To me, I like the idea of having 15 or 20 seconds to kind of see where the players are positioned, what I think they're going to throw. I'm a very cerebral.
Just admit.
No, I'm a cerebral.
Admit that you've missed me riling you up.
Yeah. Well, absence does make the heart grow fonder.
Yeah.
Unless it's a woman, because in that case, too much absence is going to make the man wander.
Oh, look at Dave
I stole that from Teddy. I stole that from Teddy
Hunter,
Pendergrass.
the lessons you
The
learned
poet.
as a
He's a poet.
youngster listening to Dave.
But yeah, it's just like one pitch, Dave and Tony and Prep.
Yes.
One pitch
It's a
can
chess
totally.
match.
I mean, we saw it last night in the A's game. One pitch
Yeah.
totally changed everything twice with that solo home run by the Angels, and then
Brian Knight. Brian does not give a low strike, as the umpire was last night. Castro should have been out. A called third strike on that wicked slider.
I thought it was a strike as well.
Yeah. And that's where the umpire comes to play.
Nobody in the world can talk me out of believing in what I believe in regards to baseball, but I love betting it, and I love winning money, and I love that the three of you are passionate about the sport. Look, I think it's a fun sport. I watched last night as well. Boys, let's get into the rest of the card. We're going to go super quick. Really,
and then we're going to do that. We'll do the fantasy stud and dud, or fantasy stud and sleeper
you want
as well.
to do that first, Dave?
You want to get it out of the way?
You drive that segment.
I had one not so good and one really good last night. Santana didn't do much for the Indians, but Lance Lynn was outstanding for the Texas Rangers. He wasn't the best pitcher on the board, but he was damn close. Freddie Galvis of the Cincinnati Reds gets to face Nova. Okay, I'm in. And I think Ryan Yarborough's got a chance to pitch well for Tampa. It might only be 5 or 6 innings, but that he might earn you a profit if you're a daily fantasy sports guy.
Hunter, any fantasy sport thoughts for us?
I'm not a big DFS guy. Something I just never got into. I'm more the long run fantasy player, but I don't have anything to. Dave, I don't know about this. This Blue Jays lineup is not only talented and young, but they know how to play baseball.
So yeah, it's a good lineup.
Yeah, so I don't know if I would start Yarborough, but you've been doing this longer than I have, and your argument is the same as my argument. We'll see. We'll find out today, won't we?
The basis I have is that Yarborough is not going to cost you anything, and that way you can spend your daily fantasy money on better.
I keep on forgetting. You got to think how expensive guys are and all this stuff. I didn't even think. The
easy thing is say, let's take Nelson Cruz because he just owns Dallas Keuchel. Right. He's just destroyed him. But Nelson Cruz is going to cost you a whole bunch of money.
So, Abel, we are literally 1 minute away from talking Milwaukee. I know we've got to get going. We've got some games starting soon. Tony, any quick thoughts on DFS?
Yes, really quickly is take any Boston Red Sox hitter you want tonight. I think he's going to be a stud, and Cleveland pitching staff is a lock to be pretty good against a bad lineup of the Royals. They're going to strike out a ton this year. Hit a few bombs, but Masters tonight. The umpire is Fletcher, and he has a tremendously wide strike zone, which fits the Cleveland pitcher matchup perfectly. And I like him to maybe throw a second straight shutout for the Indians.
Boys, let's get straight to the entire card. Look, I appreciate if you guys spend maybe 10 to 15 seconds each per game. We really roll through this at 100 miles an hour. If you've got something that's really interesting and unique, Dave, I know you do all the time, feel free to throw it out. Otherwise, let's give our side and total what to bet, and let's move on. Everybody who's in the posting forum, can't thank you enough for joining us on our first Saturday show in recollection. So yeah, thank you so much. And as far as Princess Chachu, baseball is life. I'm glad you have found your passion.
She's with us. She was with us on the KBO shows on a daily basis too.
Oh yeah, dude. She joins for a lot of our shows, and I love it. Cool. I mean, Dave, you know, I'm a guy. Not only do I do so many shows as a host, but I also you use my studio, so I'm in every day, and I mean, guys like Abel and LaMaguina and Roger and Robert S, etc. These guys I mean, they're just part of our damn family, Princess. We love you guys.
All right, let's go. Come on.
Hunter's
going to have to strike. Hunter's going to have to tee up.
Shut up, Dave.
Get going here.
Darvish minus 144 against Milwaukee. Total 9.5. Dave, go.
Burns is a guy he's got great stuff, but he's just got command issues. He's going to have to show that he is not insisting on trying to strike everybody out. I'm going to have to see it out of him before I can back him, so I would lean Cubs.
Tony?
Well, I listen. I have to see Darvish pitch a few times too. Darvish has a tendency to start very slow. Last year he was absolutely abysmal in April, and a lot of this depends on his work and how he feels. But he's got 20 different pitches he throws, and he has to be spot on with almost everything to be effective. And when he is effective, guys, dynamite. But I need to watch him, so I would probably lean Milwaukee.
I think Milwaukee's going to be a deadly team all year. Hunter, what do you like in this game?
I agree with Dave. I'm definitely not gonna bet on Corbin Burns. He hasn't showed me any reason at all to bet on him. I mean, He had a horrific year last year. Can't throw strikes, and when you can't throw strikes, those guys are waiting on fastballs, and the Chicago Cubs can hit fastballs. So if I had to pick a side here, I would go with Chicago.
Connor, nice win yesterday, 2-0. Congrats, my friend. Tony, Boston minus 210, total of 10.5. Hosting the Orioles. What's up?
First off, when I see a price like that, I immediately run, like I said, a scared girl, because you can't release something like that. But I would listen. 10.5 is a big number. Begging you to take it under. I said earlier, take any Red Sox you want today. I think they're going to have a big day, and I would play over that big number of 10.5.
Perez is one time through the order guy, and after that he's very hittable. And Cobb he's hittable before he even arrives at the mound. It's too bad. He had a chance to be a really good pitcher, but he's clearly not the same guy he was when he was coming up with the Rays.
Yeah.
Hunter?
I agree with both those guys. If I'm taking any play here, it's even the over at 6 with plus money is a good play here for the first 5, but it's over or nothing.
Guys, we have 41 likes so far, 2 dislikes. I don't want the 3 of you to wear the dislikes. They're clearly directed at me. So the 3 of you have 41 likes, and I have 2 dislikes. Dave, you were on Minnesota yesterday. Cashed that ticket. Today they're minus 120 against the White Sox. We have a total of 10. Where are you going?
Number adjusted pretty quickly, didn't it?
Yeah.
It takes a day.
Yeah.
For the betting market to shift. I follow a lot of White Sox fans on Twitter, and they were just so pissed off. This sucks. They gave up after one game, basically. Dobnak's he was really good at the end of last year for the Twins, but it's a very small sample. I think the price is right here at minus 120 on the Twins. They're a better team, but I'm not ready to lay a price with Dobnak against Dallas.
Airwato, Boston team total. I like the over too, and I think one of the guys mentioned that. Hunter, where are you going in this Minnesota-Chicago White Sox game?
I really don't know about these two teams. In my opinion, one team is an offensive powerhouse, and the other team, so on paper, is a pitching powerhouse with their staff. I made this comment yesterday when I was watching your guys' show. I think if you bet the dog in these games all year round, the rest of the season, I think you might come out making money, because I think it's really whoever has the better game on the mound or at the plate is going to decide who wins these games.
Okay, and Mr. Finn?
Pat Hoberg is the umpire in this game, and he's pitcher friendly. So I would have initially probably said I'd play the over in this game, but I'm not with Hoberg behind the plate. But I think we saw yesterday who the Twins are. They're slugging twins. They're the measuring star, and the Sox. Listen, Giolito's can be up and down. He's a good pitcher, has dynamite electric stuff, and he was hit hard yesterday.
There were a couple balls in that game, plays that could have been made, that would have made that first inning. I mean, there was 3 pitches that could have changed. I mean, that could have been a 2-minute inning instead of a 5.
I kind of enjoyed it.
Hunter, I think if you bet against Pittsburgh all year, you win money. You're betting against them today?
Yes, I would. I know the Cardinals didn't start off offensively great, and if you look at last year, they didn't really have any great batting average numbers. They just were a good baseball team. But I think you got to go with the Cardinals here in this one. I think eventually this batting lineup is going to should be hitting. So I just think it's a matter of time, and Pittsburgh is a perfect team to start out the season, so they can get on track. So
Tony Finn.
Ed Hickok's umpire in this game in St. Louis, and let me tell you, left-handed hitters have a huge advantage with Hickok. About 10% or more of his balls that are outside the strike zone against left-handers or strikes, he calls balls on the outside plate. So I like the Cardinals. This is a perfect scenario for him for the Cardinals against Musgrove, who is also a very average pitcher, although he'll have his 50 minutes.
Musgrove pitched yesterday.
I'm sorry, not
Trevor Williams.
No, Trevor Williams today. I thought. Okay, good. That's true.
Unless they've decided to use Musgrove in all 60 games.
A twin brother.
Pitching here.
A twin brother.
My thoughts on this are that I can't lay that. I'm not. Look, I don't want the Pirates, and Trevor Williams will have to prove he's back to where he was a couple of years ago, and I thought he was kind of lucky then. But I just can't lay this kind of a price with Wainwright, who's way on the backside of his career. You could see some runs in this one.
Guys, just a quick update. We got a third dislike. We're at 60 likes, though, so you guys are beating me 60-3. Roger, nice comment. Points out that he likes the umpire analysis. If you buy Tony Finn, you're going to get a whole lot of umpire analysis. Let me tell you, I read his stuff. This guy is highly focused on umpires.
If you don't think it makes a difference, Ted Barrett was working the Padres Diamondbacks game, and I knew in the first inning, so I got this game. He's calling pitches 2 to 3 inches outside the strike zone strikes. Mm-hmm. That's like you give a good pitcher that kind of a strike zone, they're not going to give up much.
Yeah. Listen, to your point, Wainwright, the one thing Wainwright is he's savvy. He's got a great baseball IQ. He knows Hickox, and he knows that if he's on if he's spot on today, the Cardinals will cruise in this game.
Guys, we got to keep,
not that I love Wainwright.
Keep moving. Make sure everybody get a season of any of our plays in baseball. $399 promo code 399 MLB. It works for all four of us. Both at Sports Memo and Wager Talk. Dave, the Blue Jays are plus 130 against Tampa Bay. Hunter mentioned already on the show that Blue Jay lineup. Look, I see this Blue Jay team as just being so fun to watch. The problem ultimately is they have no pitching after their opening day starter. Man, I'd look to play the over in this game myself, but I'm a Jay homer, so go Jays, Dave.
Matt Shoemaker's healthy. He's had trouble staying healthy, but he's not bad. And I mentioned earlier that I think Yarborough's got a chance to do well in this spot. So I think you could see a game that's rather low scoring. We'll see.
Joe Yurkovich, cha-ching, baby. That is a beautiful statement, a nice pun. I thought it was funny. It made me smile. Prez, I know you like baseball because all you do is pitch. I'll take that. Tony, Blue Jays or Tampa Bay, over or under?
Under. DJ Rayburn's very pitcher friendly, and listen, Shoemaker's gonna be focused tonight. If he's in form, this is a low scoring game.
Hunter.
I agree with both they said. I mean, this pitching staff and that big park. If it's gonna go over, it's because the Blue Jays scored 7 or 8 runs. That's the only way I see that.
Or the bullpens fall apart.
Exactly. Yeah.
And they were used extensively yesterday. So be careful about the later innings.
Nice. Cash Abel, way to go. Philly, Miami, minus 180 for the Phillies. A total of 9. Tony, I'll go to you first.
Wow. Yesterday, let's just say this real quickly. I'm on the underdog on Miami until they prove they're going to lose. I'm thinking 60-0 for Miami. I'm on Miami.
Okay, Dave, forget the 60-0 statement, but Tony likes Miami.
I don't disagree. Took a long look at this one. I didn't pull the trigger. I think Wheeler's going to be really excited about pitching for the Phillies. We'll see how he does. But Caleb Smith actually matches up pretty well against him. I think the value here is on the Miami side.
Hunter?
Yeah, after that, I'm a Phillies fan. I'm from Pennsylvania, actually. But there's no way, after the way they looked yesterday, they should be at minus 180 range at all. If you're going to pick a side, I mean, just from an investment standpoint, you got to take the Marlins. And I'm totally going to stay away from sides here. But if I had to lean one way on the over or under, I would go under this way because I do like these two pitchers.
Dave, Texas minus 125, hosting the Rockies. Talk to me.
I made it 130.
So
good number.
Pass.
Pass.
Yeah. Tony?
Next.
Without question. If I'm not passing, I'm going to take Colorado in the zig. And it's a zigzag theory, right, in baseball. I'm kidding. It's a joke.
Tony, nobody knows when you're joking. Ever. You need a sign. I want you next time. Tomorrow on the show, I want you to put up a sign. Joke alert. Okay, Hunter, talk to me.
I'll get a new writer.
Yeah, and that. Hunter?
Yeah, I have no thoughts on this game. I'm just passing. If I had to pick a side, Rockies.
Pitching duel yesterday in the Mets and Atlanta game. Total today is 9. Mets are, it's a pick'em game, Hunter.
Where did we go? We just skipped a bunch of games.
I'm not going in rotation, sorry. I will from now on. As of tomorrow, I will go in rotation for you, Dave. I'm going based
Braves,
on time.
I think this Mets Braves game is probably going to be the most exciting one to watch in the early games. I think Matz and Fried are pretty much the same pitchers in my opinion. And as we saw yesterday, good pitching is going to dominate these lineups until they get into the swing of things. So if anything here, I'm going to lean on the under, but it's a coin flip to me.
Dave?
Lean Braves. I think price is a little short. I'm not a big Steven Matz guy, and I think he could really struggle being forced to be the number 2 starter on the Mets because of the injuries. He's much better in like a 4 hole rather than a 2.
Tony Finn?
Well, it's going to be a lot different than yesterday's game, I think, with DeGrom. But I will say this: both these guys, left-handers, can pitch if they're on. And Matz, he's actually stayed healthy for the last year or 2 years. So maybe he's going to have his career year. I would lean to the under in this game.
Boys, let's go. Tomorrow I will go in rotation order. Today I am not. Dodgers minus 400. We don't see that number often. Total 9.5. Just outright pass for you, Dave.
Swipe left.
I'm not playing against the Dodgers, I can tell you that. I don't know. You want to bet something? Bet the over, I guess, and hope the Dodgers bullpen stinks after Alex Wood is done for the day. He doesn't go deep into games.
Hunter?
Yeah, I'm just not even gonna. I don't have any comment on this game. I don't think there's no reason for you to even touch it, in my opinion.
Tony, what about Dodgers minus 2.5?
Well, alternative run line may be the only way to play this, and we've already said it. I don't play run lines on home teams, but this one I might. Hey, I'll be a degenerate tonight. I'll get a couple late games, degenerate games in.
Houston minus 270 against Seattle. Over and under 9.5. Hunter.
Gotta go. I like more runs in this game. I'm not a big Lance McCullers Jr. fan. I think the Mariners can get into some balls today. Obviously, I'm going to be on the Astros if I had to pick a side, but I'm leaning over.
Dave?
Yeah, I'm not going to argue against the Astros. Even at this price, they might offer some value. I mean, this is a mismatch. I'm not a big Taijuan Walker guy.
And Tony Finn?
Nobody swings and misses more than the Seattle Mariners lineup.
I'm pretty right up there, Tony. I mean, it takes about 10 stupid jokes before I get one laugh.
I can't lay 250, but Houston's in play here, and if anything, you're gonna be playing. I'd play the under. Yeah. I would play the under because I don't think Seattle's gonna score.
Abel, I'm with you, brother. Dodgers minus 2.5. I like it. Kansas City plus 205. Over and under 9, Dave.
Yeah, Brady Singer makes his debut, and this might be a little bit of a reach for him, but I actually. And I won't spend much time on this. I like what the Royals are going to do here in this 60-game thing. They're going to give some of the young guys a chance to perform. Why not? Okay, that's how you build for the future. Let them face some major league talent and see what happens. So Singer's probably overmatched here. I think the Indians win, but we'll see what this holds as far as the future is concerned for the Royals.
Hunter?
Yep, I'm on Cleveland if I have to pick a side here, but I'm leaning towards the under in the first 5 here in this one. I think there's a possibility that, I mean, as we saw yesterday, Clevenger, well, not Clevenger, but Clevenger-Bieber combo are two pretty tough guys to hit, and this Kansas City lineup doesn't impress me.
Mm-mm.
And the master, Clevenger, can get left-handers out. And again, this umpire, Andy Fletcher, has the widest strike zone in Major League Baseball, and that's a perfect fit for Clevenger. Love Clevenger here under the total of the Royals can't score.
Last game, boys, Cincinnati, another big favorite, minus 233 against Detroit. Total is 9. Tony, where are we going in this one?
I passed on this. I looked right over it. But if I'm going to go anywhere on this, I'm probably going to go over the total in this game. That would be my lean.
Okay, Dave Cokin.
I think you can throw the Reds in a parlay if you're looking that way, or just play it straight. I mean, Nova's terrible, and he's facing a good lineup, and Nova's getting worse each year. I mean, it's not like he was ever great. Now he's approaching horrible at this point. And Castillo was terrific last year. He might regress a bit this year, but he'll dominate this lineup in all likelihood.
Reds, Houston, Cleveland, and the Dodgers. There's a parlay that I'm going to make later today. In about 5 minutes. Hunter, what's up for you on the Cincinnati-Detroit game?
I agree with Dave, and it was funny that you just said that, because I said this is a team you would just throw a 3-game parlay with the Dodgers, and you would just group them right in there. That's exactly what I was just about to say. So
well,
there you go.
I jumped into your head and stole your thoughts. That's what I do. Boys, awesome time today. Can't thank you all enough. Tomorrow, we're back at it, 12 o'clock Eastern time. First pitch. Me, Dave Cokin, Mid-Major Matt, and Tony Finn. I wish everybody all the best today. Enjoy watching baseball. Check out the UFC tonight. I got plays. Andrew McInnis' plays. Kyle's plays. Gianni's plays. So make sure to get down on that. Take advantage of our promotion, $3.99 MLB. I hope that was enough pitching for you, Joe. Other than that, it has been an honor. Thank you, guys, and we'll see you all tomorrow at noon Eastern.
Good luck everyone.